The Athletic did a 2024 NBA draft class regrade, and are you kidding me? Alex Sarr, disrespected, is a light way of putting it. We'll tell you what happened in that redraft on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
DC family, you're locked onto the Washington Wizards. We thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. I'm Ben Strober. I cover all things DC sports for 106.7 The Fan and the Team 980, alongside my co-host, DC sports content creating savant credentialed media member for the Washington Wizards, Abdullah Ayubi. What you got for me, man? Happy Friday.
I was not dancing to the intro music. I know I typically do, but after what I saw with the Athletic put out, the Alex Sarr disrespect, I thought it was just NBA fans on X. Holy, man, the Athletic definitely have something against this man.
One group of people that doesn't disrespect Alex Sarr, that's Monarch Money. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money and use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And my goodness, Abdullah, Alex Sarr, like, we've been hearing it from a lot of different fan bases. We've been hearing it from members of the media, really since the guy was drafted to the Washington Wizards at number 2 overall. The seeds of doubt were planted by people already, for whatever reason, about Alex Sarr. His summer league performance before his rookie season didn't help him, but it's gone too far because the Athletic released a redraft of the 2024 class. Alex Sarr is not in the top 10.
He's not in the top 3. He's not in the top 5. He's not in the top 7. He's not even in the top 8. He's not even in the top 10. Ben, when you sent me that tweet, Ben, I actually I thought it was like NBA Central. You know that meme account? I thought it was a joke. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm sorry. Like, Wizards fan or non-Wizards fan, that is absurd.
The disrespect that Washington Wizards players get is absolutely unreal right now. And I know the Wizards are in a spot where, yeah, they haven't been playing winning basketball for quite some time. They've been mediocre at best since 2017. Everything has been downhill from there. But to disrespect Alex Sarr and what he accomplished in his rookie season and the upside that he still possesses, a former number 2 overall pick, he's not even in the top 10. Are you kidding me? We're going to tell you who they had ahead of him in this redraft, and Abdullah, it literally doesn't make any sense to me. The biggest takeaway from this is Alex Sarr is being disrespected to the max. He needs to put a chip on his shoulder and go out there and prove everybody wrong here in year number 2, because how in the hell is Ron Holland II higher than Alex Sarr?
Ben,
How is Reed
Shepard, who didn't even play that much?
Reed Shepard is 4. He played 12 minutes per game, and he is 4th. Yes, the Rockets are a team that was number 2 in the Western Conference next year in a win-now scenario. But Reed Shepard is not getting drafted ahead of Alex Sarr in a redraft. That doesn't make any sense. Go through some other names. Stephon Castle at number 1. Okay, Rookie of the Year. Alex Sarr on the rookie ladder was number 1 for a lot of the year, climbing the rookie ladder all the way into April before the season ends. And he somehow doesn't finish in the top 3, finished 4th in Rookie of the Year voting. How does he fall out of your top 10? I don't understand it. I really don't have any
do you think people are still considering the summer league performance that he had going into his rookie? Because there's no explanation. Every single game, and I'll keep reiterating it because I love Alex Sarr, he got better. 34 points against Nikola Jokic, can shoot the ball from 3, got better at it. Summer league, 8 blocks, broke a summer league record. I know people don't care about 2K, Ben, and I don't know if you do. I'm looking at it right now. He isn't even a top 10 shot blocker in NBA 2K26 when he broke the summer league record for blocks. I don't understand. Either the Athletic really wants to rage bait Wizards fans or they really have something against Mr. Sarr.
Well, as we continue out throughout the show, the schedule for the Washington Wizards was released today, and I think you know how that goes. We'll we'll talk about the disrespect that comes with the schedule. But I'm not even mad about that because I knew that was going to be the case. I understand that. But this right here, this has me perplexed. I am bamboozled by this, and I got plenty of statistics and reasons to back up why I'm so frustrated by this ranking for Alex Sarr. Yes, he had his inefficiencies in his rookie season early on, much like many rookie players do. The 34-point performance that you talked about, Abdullah, he's the youngest player in Wizards history to put up a 30 ball in a game. And we're still disrespecting him like that. It really doesn't make any sense. When you compare him to his peers that are on this list of the top 10, Alex Sarr was on the All-NBA rookie first team. And some of the other guys on the list were able to crack the second team. There are guys on this list that didn't even make an All-NBA rookie team. And they're getting redrafted ahead of Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr is a 7-footer that can stretch the floor. He can play inside. He can protect the rim. He can move with the basketball in his hands. Yes, he has struggled to rebound the basketball at certain times. And yes, he has struggled to show efficiency in the painted area at times. But for a guy with his size and his skill sets, for them essentially to be giving up on him right now after a rookie season where he got better as the season went on, it just absolutely doesn't make any sense to me. I just really don't get it. I don't.
Man, I just, like, this guy, Alex Sarr, was supposed to go to the Atlanta Hawks, but he wanted to come to DC, and I don't really get it. If you want to call the man soft, I mean, the guy's still young. I'll always reiterate the fact that he came from the Australian League, Ben, and transition it's pretty difficult, and he's only going to get better going into his sophomore year. What we saw in the summer league, defensively, he's only going to get better as a rim protector. Offensively, that pick and rolls that he's going to have with Trey Johnson, I really hope. I know Alex Sarr's probably not going to look at the athletic the post of this redraft, but I really hope he does because this gives him motivation. A young guy who just getting hated for no reason. I don't know why you can hate Alex Sarr. I'm being so serious. Like, there are NBA players out there where maybe off the court they do stuff for the way they carry themselves. It's kind of like, oh man, he's very smug. I don't mess with him. But what's the hate with Alex Sarr? I just don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I know what the hate is. It's because he's on the Wizards.
But it's
because he's on the Wizards. If he were on any other team, if he were on a team that had a lick of success right now, that was even close to being a playoff team, that didn't lose 64 games last year and is predicted to lose 64 this year, he'd be in the top 5. Who are we kidding? This is a complete thing against the Wizards right here. And I'm not even trying to sound like I'm crying about this, saying the media hates the Wizards. The Wizards don't get any love, and I understand that because the Wizards haven't been good. They're not a good team. The organization was in a very dark place for a long time. But for them to take it out, essentially, on Alex Sarr in this list, and it's a list, it means nothing. I don't care about the dude who wrote this article. And Alex Sarr, I'm sure, doesn't care about who wrote this article and didn't include him in the top 10. But is this really how people nationally view Alex Sarr? Is how I'm looking at this from a 30,000-foot lens. Nationally, do people view Alex Sarr as some kind of has-been who's already a bust, proving that he can't do anything in the NBA? That's supposed to be the weakest draft class ever, and Alex Sarr's not even in the top 10 of it. So what does that mean about Alex Sarr if that's how people view him?
If you agree with Sarr being out of the top 10, please comment down below and let me know your reasoning, because I will go through every comment, and I'll probably reply because I just don't understand how you can justify it. This has to be a consensus opinion. Alex Sarr should be in every top 3 redraft. The fact that he's not top 10, any NBA fan out there, you can claim you have ball knowledge, you can claim you don't have. If you have some shred of common sense, you'd realize that this is absurd for him not to be in the top 10.
There's a reason he was described as a unicorn-type player by many in the media initially in the incoming draft process. He was graded as an A draft pick for the Wizards. The majority of the media back then, when the Wizards took this guy, were saying, wow, the Wizards are fortunate that he didn't want to go to Atlanta, and he chose to make his destination Washington. He's a guy that has the makings of a unicorn because during a rebuilding season, he's a rare guy who could protect the rim, switch on to perimeter defenders, shoot threes, and handle the ball while he's just 19 years old. Yet all of a sudden, that narrative has completely changed about Alex Sarr for whatever reason. It's not like he missed the entire year with an injury or something. If Alex Sarr didn't even play his rookie season or only played in like 10, 15, 20 games, then yeah, that would make more sense if there were qualms that he wasn't available to play. That wasn't even the case with Alex Sarr.
I mean, Jared McCain, really talented, but was out for a good amount of the season. Donovan King, he's talented. I remember I wanted the Wizards to draft him at one point. I'll go back to Reed Shepherd. I mean, that Rockets team was just so talented. He was playing in the G League majority of the time. Khalil Ware, he's cool. Jalen Wells, a second-round pick. I didn't really see much. Zach Edey, okay. Bozilis, Ron Hall in the second. I mean, what are we doing here? I think the guy that wrote it is, how do you pronounce his name? Ben Sam Viceni? We got to get him on the podcast as soon as possible, and we got to interrogate the man. You'll be good cop, I'll be bad cop, because I can't take this, man.
Yeah, maybe we can find a way to get him on here because I want to hear his explanation. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. You know that clip from Family Guy where he's like, I just want to talk to him.
I just want to talk to him.
No, but I actually do want to hear his reasoning because I can't think of it. I don't know many people personally that cover the Washington Wizards, even people that cover this team from a neutral perspective. From the Washington Post, Varun Shankar, Josh Robbins of The Athletic. They would not disrespect Alex Sarr this way. I think they know what kind of player Alex Sarr is because they cover this team. So maybe the consensus here is that because the Wizards are the franchise they are, that people don't even bother watching Alex Sarr's games. They don't even bother watching the tape to determine where he should be on this list because it's absurd.
I could go outside right now, Ben, and find the most pessimistic Wizards fan, and even they would say that this is insane.
Probably because I know a lot of you guys in the comments, y'all don't have much faith in Alex Sarr. A lot of you out there are ready to write him off and say that he's not going to be much of an offensive player. And I hear your concerns. I totally hear it. I think it's way too early to give up on the guy. I think the upside is certainly there, and I think Alex Sarr is going to have a really good second year here in DC. But I think even the haters out there and people who don't believe in Alex Sarr would say this is a little bit ludicrous right here, to say the least. So another thing that came out today, Abdullah, the schedule is out for the Washington Wizards. Let's talk about it next here on Locked On Wizards. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And we don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money, an all-in-one-place finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization for your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a single spreadsheet. One thing that's a subscription I've been paying for way too long was my previous gym membership at school. I completely forgot about that. Call me an idiot, but thankfully, Monarch Money got me in check. I was able to establish a new budget, including groceries, rent, and all that other jazz. And Monarch Money has really helped me start to save since I've moved out of college. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONNBA. Washington Wizards schedule released finally. I know we've had the slow rollout that happens for the NBA schedule release, Abdullah, and we knew the Wizards weren't going to play on Christmas Day or anything like that, so we weren't too concerned about that. Big shocker. Man, I miss when we played on Christmas Day. You remember we beat the Celtics on Christmas Day in 2017?
I remember John Wall and Kyrie went at it. I remember they were mic'd up too. That was tough.
I mean, we got the Washington Commanders and the Cowboys on Christmas Day this year.
That's going to be a game to watch.
Honestly, I'm glad the Wizards aren't playing on Christmas Day because I'll probably be at that Commanders game.
Remember the John Wall 360 layup? Quincy Acey hitting him with the 1-2.
That was peak. That game started at noon. Yeah, got up and had all the Christmas festivities at home and then watched John Wall cook the Knicks at MSG. Man.
The ESPN scoreboard, what a throwback.
That was good times, but this schedule, Abdul, only 2 national TV games for this Washington Wizards team, which isn't surprising, and you're going to have to remind me because I can't even remember off the top of my head. Last year, did the Wizards even have a primetime game, a national TV game? I think they only had one. Or maybe it got flexed out of it.
I think it got flexed out of it. I'm not even joking, man. I'm trying to think of it right now. Because I remember watching every game of Monumental. So,
yeah, and Well, I understand it. You're not going to put the Wizards on national TV because what do they really have to see other than a bunch of young players that are fighting out there for their NBA career, trying to establish themselves, trying to establish a young core. They're not going to be winning a lot of games. And if the Wizards had some lottery luck and they landed Cooper Flag, they definitely would have been on national TV opening night because that's the number one pick, Cooper Flag out there. Trey Johnson, I guess, doesn't move the needle for them to get some more national TV games, but who knows? Maybe some things will happen down the road. The Wizards will be somewhat exciting while still losing some games, and maybe things will change. But I'm not really shocked at all by this, Abdullah. One of the things that is funny to note here, the Wizards will open their home slate of games on October 26th against the Charlotte Hornets. So to all of you out
The
there,
NBA knows what they're doing right there, Ben.
so everyone out there that has invented this Wizards Hornets beef, there you go. We're going to get the crowd of 15,000 at Capital One Arena is going to go crazy boxing one another over the Wizards and Hornets playing in the home opener for the Wizards next year. The Wizards have a really tough schedule to start the season. They play a bunch of really tough teams on the road to start things out. I know they're going to open their season on the road against the Milwaukee Bucks, so that's tough sledding right there. And then just 2 days after that, you're playing the number one overall pick, Cooper Flag, also on the road at Dallas. You got a game against Oklahoma City, 6 games into the season. You play New York, Boston, Cleveland, then Dallas again on November 10th. They got some really tough games through the first 15 games of the season. I know maybe that's where you see more of the Wizards' wins this year is early on because you're going to have some of those veterans like McCollum and Middleton playing, but man, that is not a tough draw to start the year for sure.
Yeah, I think Cooper Flag, there's going to be a lot of highlights coming out of that game. But for the Wizards, I just want to see them compete, Ben. I know we keep reiterating it every episode, but this year it's all about competition. I know they predicted, I think by Bleacher Report, to win 18 games this year. They have to win at least 23 to 24. I mean, you've gotten better since last year. I think year 2 of Sarr, George, and Carrington. Trey Johnson, I think he's going to bring in some attention. I think he can shoot the ball really well, and I think he's going to improve every game from game 1 to game 82. So it's going to be exciting. Schedule, it is what it is. I didn't expect many primetime games because the Wizards are just not winning. But the disrespect, it kind of reminds me, Ben, I know this is the next segment, but it reminds me of the Washington Commanders, their previous owner. A lot of the national media just hated on them and transitioning to the NBA, where you can't really say the same for Ted Leonsis comparing him to the previous Commanders owner, but if you're not winning on the court, there's only so much you could talk about, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all that they're not getting any national love at the moment. I mean, if the Wizards can go to where the organization thinks it can under this new regime, the national games will come. When the Wizards were good with John Wall and Bradley Beal, they had plenty of national TV games. They were respected by people nationally because you had a top 3-point guard in the NBA at one point. You had a upper echelon shooting guard at one point, a very good backcourt, and you had very serviceable players alongside him as well. They were an exciting team to watch, and they were competing in the Eastern Conference for a period of time. So if the Wizards do get back to that point, you'll see this shift in how the schedule looks for the Washington Wizards. I just thought it was interesting that we could touch on it and just kind of make note of how tough that schedule is early on. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch, Abdullah, because like you said, you got 12 guys on this team under 24 years old, and they're going to have to go against some really tough opponents early on in the season. That's when the juices are flowing for a lot of these teams. So it's not going to be easy for these guys to go out
the in-season tournament. We need to win a game, Ben.
We do need to win an in-season tournament game. We're 0-8 through the first 2 years of that thing. So hopefully the Wizards can win one of those things. It's going to be interesting to see how the Wizards are rotationally early on in the year. How many minutes do we see from Trey Johnson early in the season? Presumably, C.J. McCollum will start in this basketball team. I'll say it right now. Everyone I've spoken to that covers the Washington Wizards, that covers the NBA, they all agree that C.J. McCollum is going to start for this team. So if Trey Johnson is only playing around 20 minutes per game early on in the season, not going to see that dramatic scoring output that potentially we had predicted. We got some hot takes, people saying we're going to see a 40 ball from Trey Johnson this year. I think that could happen. I think it happens post-trade deadline, though, when you're seeing Johnson play 30-plus, 35 minutes per game like he did at Texas, where he played around 36 minutes per game. Dude was a workhorse. The usage rate was unbelievably high for Johnson. But he put up over 20 points in 15 of his 23 contests. He put 30-plus up 3 times. 39 points was the season high for Trey Johnson. But how do other young guys fit in early on in the season? Is Keyshawn George going to start for this team, or do they need to see more from him off the bench? Because presumably there's really only one spot potentially he could go, and it would be at the 4. And I don't know if the Wizards go that route. Do they go Middleton? It's going to be really fascinating to see because the lineup is going to change so much throughout the year, Abdullah.
I know. I think so. I think I agree with you there. It's going to be – there's no such thing as a lineup that we're going to have from game 1 to game 8 too. It's going to be shaking up a lot. And knowing Coach Keefe, he's definitely going to want to try new things. But like you mentioned, I need to see Trey Johnson play when he's coming off the bench. I know eventually he's going to become a starter post-trade deadline if they move on from McCollum or whatever they handle with his situation here in Washington. But there's no way you limit Trey Johnson's rookie year. I need to see him get every rep that he possibly can get.
Absolutely. Wizards not getting any love today, not from the national media doing redrafts and not in the schedule release. Why do the Wizards get no love? Because, man, I feel like the Wizards need a hug right now. Let's talk about it next. Abdullah, where as a Wizards fan, you just got to pat yourself on the back sometimes because you've been through a lot. You've had to deal with so much turmoil over the years, organizational malpractice. And then when you feel like you're still heading in the right direction right now, you still don't get any credit from anybody because nobody gives a damn if you're trending in the right direction. They only care if you are at the right direction, when you are at the spot you want to be. So I feel like that's why the Wizards don't get any love right now. And I know as a fan, it's tough to see because, you know, you get that narrative that comes out if you're you say there's Wizards fans, they exist. I didn't know there were any Wizards fans out there. There's a lot of Wizards fans out there. I feel like this fan base could become a sleeping giant, much like we saw with the Washington Commanders last year. So Wizard fans out there, don't be shy. Don't be scared to show your fandom for this team. And I know a lot of people are gonna laugh at you, but hopefully a couple of years from now, you'll be laughing at them. Hopefully the Wizards are in a much better spot. AB, just like think about it for you growing up. What do you remember about Wizards fandom maybe in the best years, like let's say 8 years ago?
Yeah, it was – I think a lot of players, a lot of NBA fans respected John Wall, and that brought love to the city. John Wall was the reason why I started watching basketball, the 360 layups, the no-look dimes that he had to Nene, Marcin Gortat, Otto Porter for 3. It was just reminiscing of those times. I remember in 2014, my first Wizards game, it was the Wizards versus Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it was that the whole momentum of KD coming to DC, coming back home. I remember I saw signs. I was up in the nosebleeds. John Wall hit a buzzer beater in the first quarter. Kevin Durant hit a clutch 3 at the end of the game, and then Russell Westbrook hit a game-winning layup. But that was just – it was fun. That was a competitive Wizards team, and there was a really good OKC Thunder team. One game I went to in 2021, I think it was the end of – or it was about to be 2022, and DeMar DeRozan was on a heater, had a game winner from the corner when Kyle Kuzma ultimately, I thought he hit the game winner. And that was the year when the Wizards were the first seed for 2 weeks. I mean, hang a banner up for that one, huh? But
10-3.
10-3. I remember I went to the other game when they won. It was the COVID season. They beat the Cavs, and the Cavs were pretty good that year. And it's been a lot, but the only way to go is up from here. I think the organization realized that they traded Bradley Beal way too long. I mean, they held on him way too long. They should have traded him after they got rid of John Wall. But, I mean, it is what it is. It was a sunk cost. And looking how the situation turned out in Phoenix, I mean, I think Will Dawkins by himself and his crew deserves an award for how they handled that situation. Somehow getting him off the books, that contract was just so freaking atrocious. And we're going to look back years from now and say, what the heck? What was that? But you get those pick swaps that eventually will turn up. So being a Wizards fan, it sucks. I was just playing pickup basketball earlier today, and I saw a fan wearing a Wizards shirt, and I'm like, yo, subscribe to Locked On Wizards, man. He was like, bro, you're a Wizards fan? There's not that many out there. I'm like, yeah, man, there's a lot. I think there's a lot out there. They're hiding right now behind bushes, but once this team starts winning, once they make that plan, once they get all-star caliber players, maybe Trey Johnson could be the face of DC. Still think Alex Sarr can be. They'll come out, and it's sorry to cut you off, man. One more last thing, but it just sucks. But that's the way sports are. Bandwagons. People are gonna be in hiding when they're losing, but when they're winning, they'll be rocking out every color of the team.
I'm laughing right now because you really just got asked in public. Oh, you're a Wizards fan? You're in the DC area.
Bro, Ben.
You were playing you're
this
15 miles from the District of Columbia, and you're getting like questioned for being a Wizards fan. That's crazy.
This brings me to a different topic, a short rant. If you are from your hometown state and you have no correlation with any other states, you are obligated by law, the AB law of sports, to support your local team. There is no reason you're from Sterling, Virginia, and you are a Cowboys fan and a Clippers fan. Where the fudge is the correlation? Wherever you are, you support that team. That's why I respect people from, especially, bro, I'm just going to the NFL. Why are there so many Cowboys fans in Northern Virginia? I get it. There's people, working DC. The Commanders are right there. The Wizards are right there. Why are you supporting the Lakers?
I honestly, like, I feel bad. Cowboys fans that have no correlation to the team, they're choosing to support an organization that sucks, that's trash. So that's on them.
Yeah, I love Jerry Jones, one of the best players to ever play for the Commanders. If you know, you know. But it's just like the craziest lineup, Ben, is Cowboys for football, Lakers for basketball, Yankees for baseball, and then hockey. Who would you get? Would you give it to?
The Florida Panthers keep on winning cups right now.
It's just like I don't even respect you. And Ben, the worst is when they have multiple favorite teams. At that point, it's like, yo, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
I don't do the whole multiple team thing. I think that is nonsense. It's crazy. I'll never forget actually my freshman year of high school. So this was 2017. This is when the Wizards were good. The Wizards were just coming off a near Eastern Conference final appearance, and the first kid I met in homeroom, I don't remember his name. We were talking sports because I was always just talking sports with people. And I asked him what basketball team he was a fan of because I wanted to see if he was a Wizards fan. And he said, I like the Wizards, but I don't support them. I was like, what? I was like, what the heck do you mean by that? He's like, I don't support them. I'm a Warriors fan. I was like, you like the Wizards, but you don't support them. He's like, yeah, because they suck. I was like, they were good then. And what is he? I wonder what he says now.
Yeah, if he thought they sucked in 2017, I don't think it's a good idea to ask about the state of the Wizards now.
Oh, geez. I mean, he was a Warriors fan in 2017, so says a lot about that guy as a sports fan for sure. Man, look, we're not getting much love these days, but hopefully better days ahead. Wizards Nation, stick with it, man. Things are going to get better as time goes on. That does it for us on Locked On Wizards today. We thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen. For your second, find the Locked On NBA podcast where there's no offseason. Doug, Matt, and Hayes keep you up to date on contract negotiations, rumors, and everything you need to be the most informed. Find Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. That's Abdullah Ayubi. I'm Ben Strober. Wizards Nation, we're out.